Modern life feels relentlessly pressurized. Work moves faster, expectations multiply, and even when nothing is going wrong, the mind stays tense as if something might. Many people try to manage this pressure by pushing harder, planning more, or controlling outcomes, yet the tension remains. What makes pressure so exhausting is that it is not only external, it lives inside the mind, in how we interpret what is happening. Pressure often feels personal. A deadline becomes a measure of self-worth. A difficult moment turns into I'm failing or I can't handle this. From a Buddhist perspective, suffering intensifies the moment experience becomes identity. When pressure turns into me, the body tightens and calm disappears. Buddhism does not teach us to eliminate pressure. It teaches us to change our relationship with it. In this video, we'll explore 5 ways Buddhism shows how to stay calm under pressure, not through control or force, but through clarity, awareness, and non-reaction. Pressure doesn't overwhelm us because life is hard. It overwhelms us because the mind tightens. Number 1. Separate the situation from the self. The first way Buddhism teaches calm under pressure is simple but powerful. Separate the situation from the self. Pressure feels overwhelming when it becomes personal. When the mind says, I am under pressure, it quietly turns a temporary experience into an identity. The situation may be difficult, but the suffering increases when the self feels under threat. From a Buddhist perspective, pressure is an experience, not who you are. Situations change constantly. Deadlines pass, conversations end, circumstances shift. There is no need to defend the self against something that is already moving. But when we identify with pressure, the mind tightens as if something permanent is at stake. One way to loosen this grip is by naming the experience clearly. Instead of saying, I'm failing or I can't handle this, notice and name what is actually happening. Pressure is present. Tension is here. Stress is being felt. This small shift creates space. Buddhism teaches observing experience without clinging. Thoughts arise, sensations appear, emotions move through the body, but none of them are the self. Thought is not truth. Feeling is not identity. When you observe pressure rather than merge with it, its intensity often softens. The body relaxes slightly. The mind regains perspective. You are no longer fighting the situation or defending an image of yourself. You are simply aware. This does not remove responsibility or effort. You still respond to what needs to be done. But you do so without adding unnecessary weight. You are experiencing pressure. You are not pressure. And in that distinction, calm begins to return. Number 2, stop fighting the feeling. When pressure arises, the mind's first impulse is often to resist it. We think, I shouldn't feel this way, I need to calm down, or this stress has to go. But from a Buddhist perspective, this resistance is what turns pressure into suffering. Pain is natural. Stressful sensations in the body and mind are part of being human. What creates extra suffering is the fight against them. When you resist a feeling, the body tightens, the breath shortens, the mind becomes rigid. What might have passed more quickly becomes stuck because it is being pushed away. Buddhism teaches that calm does not begin with control, but with allowance. Allowing a feeling does not mean liking it or giving up. It means letting the experience be present without adding judgment. Instead of saying, this shouldn't be here, you gently acknowledge, this is what's here right now. This shift reduces tension almost immediately. When you stop fighting the feeling, you stop feeding it. The nervous system no longer treats the sensation as a threat. The mind stops escalating the experience with stories and self-criticism. What you allow can soften. What you fight tightens. This doesn't mean pressure disappears instantly, but its grip loosens. You may still feel tension, but it no longer overwhelms you. It becomes something you can stay with, breathe through, and observe. From a Buddhist point of view, suffering is not caused by pain itself, but by resistance to pain. When resistance drops, space appears. And in that space, calm has room to return, not because the feeling is gone, but because you are no longer at war with it. Number 3. Slow the body before the mind. When pressure hits, the body reacts before the mind has time to think. The shoulders tense, the breath becomes shallow, the heart speeds up. By the time thoughts appear, the nervous system is already activated. This is why trying to calm the mind with thinking often doesn't work. From a Buddhist perspective, the body and mind are not separate. When the body is tense, the mind follows. When the body softens, the mind begins to settle naturally. Calming the body is often the fastest way to calm the mind. You don't need complex techniques. Small pauses can change everything. The moment you notice pressure, bring attention to the body instead of the story in your head. Begin with the breath. Gently lengthen the exhale. You don't need to breathe deeply, just slightly slower. The nervous system responds immediately to a longer exhale, signaling safety. Next, notice the shoulders. Let them drop. Many people carry pressure there without realizing it. Releasing even a small amount of tension sends a message of ease to the mind. Then feel your contact with the ground. Notice your feet on the floor. Feel the weight of your body being supported. This simple awareness brings attention back to the present moment, where pressure is often less intense than imagined. In Buddhist practice, grounding awareness in breath and posture anchors the mind. It interrupts automatic reactions and creates space before the next response. You don't need to force calm. You only need to slow down enough to let it emerge. When the body settles, the mind follows, and in that slowing, pressure loses its urgency and becomes something you can meet with clarity instead of tension. Number 4. Drop the need for immediate resolution. Pressure often feels unbearable because everything seems urgent. The mind insists that something must be fixed now. Answers must be found immediately. Decisions must be made without delay. And this sense of urgency tightens the body and overwhelms the mind. From a Buddhist perspective, much of this urgency is imagined. The mind assumes that if a problem is not resolved instantly, something terrible will happen. But when you look closely, many situations do not require immediate resolution. They require presence, patience, and time. Buddhism teaches impermanence, the understanding that all conditions are constantly changing. What feels overwhelming now may soften later. What feels unsolvable in this moment may become clearer after rest, reflection, or distance. When you demand that the present moment be different, pressure intensifies. The mind fights reality instead of meeting it. But when you allow the moment to be as it is, urgency loosens its grip. This does not mean avoiding responsibility. It means recognizing that clarity often arrives after you stop forcing it. Try noticing the phrase, "I need to solve this right now." When it appears, gently question it. Ask yourself, does this truly require an immediate answer? Or can I allow this moment to unfold? Dropping urgency creates space. In that space, calm begins to return. The body relaxes. The mind becomes less reactive, and wiser responses become possible. Calm returns when you stop demanding the moment be different. By releasing the need for immediate resolution, you align with a deeper rhythm, one that trusts that not everything must be handled at once. And within that trust, pressure softens into steadiness. Number 5. Respond instead of react. When pressure arises, reaction often happens automatically. The body tightens, words rush out, decisions are made quickly, and habits take over. Reaction feels fast and urgent, but it rarely leads to clarity. From a Buddhist perspective, reaction is conditioned. It is the result of past habits meeting present circumstances. It happens before awareness has a chance to appear. Response, however, is different. A response includes awareness. It arises from a pause, even a very brief one, where the mind sees what is happening instead of being carried by it. That pause creates choice. Buddhism teaches that freedom exists before reaction. In that small moment between stimulus and response, there is space. And in that space, pressure loses its power to control you. You don't need to eliminate reaction completely. You only need to notice it. The moment you see reactivity forming, the urge to defend, rush, fix, or escape, awareness has already begun to interrupt the pattern. This is how habits soften. Instead of reacting, you might pause for a breath. Instead of speaking immediately, you might wait a moment. Instead of acting from tension, you allow clarity to emerge first. This pause does not make you passive, it makes you precise. Calm does not mean pressure disappears. Pressure may still be present. Deadlines remain. Challenges continue, but you are no longer swept away by them. Calm is not absence of pressure, it's presence before reaction. Each time you respond instead of react, you reclaim energy. You stop adding unnecessary struggle. And over time, this becomes a new habit, one rooted not in force, but in awareness. This is where Buddhist calm becomes lived experience, not theory. Staying calm under pressure does not mean pressure disappears. Deadlines still exist, challenges still arise, but the experience changes. Pressure feels lighter because it no longer turns into inner conflict. The mind stops arguing with itself. There is less self-judgment, less urgency, and less emotional exhaustion. You respond with more clarity and fewer regrets. From a Buddhist perspective, calm is not numbness, it is steadiness. You remain present without being overwhelmed. You feel what is happening without being consumed by it. Strength appears without tension. You may still feel effort, but it is no longer fueled by fear. You act with intention instead of panic. And even when things are difficult, there is a sense of groundedness beneath the pressure. This is what calm actually feels like. Not escaping life, but meeting it without tightening. Calm is not a personality trait you either have or don't have. It is a skill that can be practiced and strengthened. Buddhist wisdom does not try to eliminate pressure, it trains your relationship to it. Through awareness, patience, and non-reaction, even small moments begin to shift. Take a moment to reflect on how you meet pressure in your own life. You're welcome to share your experience in the comments, and if these teachings resonate with you, subscribe for more calm, grounded reflections rooted in Buddhist wisdom. Pressure will come, but it no longer has to take you with it.